If you are in a relationship right now, let me turn you on to the Ritual app. You are going to schedule your one-on-one session live with your clinician every week. I happen to be one of them. And in preparation for these sessions, you and your partner every single week, you're going to look at your video content that is curated for you and your partner. And you're going to learn the relationship skills that you need to really keep your relationship running smoothly and to keep both of you strong and emotionally healthy. And you're going to meet with your clinician afterwards. You're going to take the assessment. You're going to do your journal prompts and take the assessment so your clinician can find out how you're doing and how things are going in your relationship and the areas that you may need to get stronger in. But Ritual is an absolutely amazing app. It's going to help keep your relationship on track. It's going to give you that curated time with your partner every week to work on your relationship. And so I want you to check out the link at the bottom of this video and click on it, and you will get 20% off of the Ritual app. You also have the opportunity to message your clinician in between sessions. So you can also do that. But it is an absolutely amazing tool, a great modern day tool for couples to keep their relationship strong and healthy. So check out the Ritual app today, and don't forget to use my link to get 20% off of your first month of Ritual. And if you'd like to work with me, please let them know you're interested in working with Anita Stoudmire. Hello. Good evening. All right. So, I'm going to jump on in. We're going to have this discussion. And I'm not going to take too much of your time up tonight, but I will be joined by my special guest, Trey Kearney. She will be joining me tonight. So this will be a really great conversation. If I'm being honest, this conversation is really for trying to keep my fan out of the shot, y'all, but I don't know if I can do it. So this conversation is really for women 40 and over. It is also for men who have a woman in their life that is 40 and over. So if you are a man and you have a 40 plus year old woman in your life, whether she is your girlfriend, she is your long-term partner, she's your fiance, she's your wife, you're going to want to listen in on this conversation. Okay, this conversation is an important conversation. And I'm even going to talk a little bit about what happens to men as they age. Okay, so it's not just women. The men love to sit back and kiki and giggle and, they think it's just us that's going to go through it. And then one day, gentlemen, you're going to wake up and you're going to go through andropause. So we're going to talk briefly about that and what that's like. It's a little different, of course, than menopause. But the reality is, this is a natural part of aging. And one of the things that you all know that I stand on, like I'm sick of y'all when it comes to this whole hitting the wall and feeling like a woman over 35 is useless and all. That's stupid. Like, don't even bring that mess over here. Don't bring that mess to my platform. Okay? The reality is this. I would rather be alive and old than young and dead. So y'all may see me talking on here when I'm 80. And I dare you say something. I dare you say something to me, because at least I'm alive to do it. So this idea that we're supposed to keep living, but we're supposed to look like we're 25 forever, or our body's supposed to stay like it's 25 forever, like that's ridiculous. Y'all are being ridiculous. Now, you well know that I have been telling y'all forever that you still take care of yourself. I take care of myself. I work out 4 times a week. I walk 2 miles a day. But I do that for me. Okay? I do that because I want to move around. I want to live a long time. I want to stay active. I want to look good and stay fit and stay healthy. So I'm not saying let yourself go. But we have got to stop this ageism thing. that somehow women over a certain age are no longer valuable. That's stupid. And as a matter of fact, if I could be so bold, women actually have more they have more use in society as they age than men do. So y'all don't want me to go there. Thank you, Evolving Lulu 74. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna bring my special this conversation tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'm just gonna wave at you, but y'all know I rarely have time to do that, so I'm gonna do it tonight. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I'm just waving at folks and welcoming them in.
Yes.
Folks, if you could let me know the city, state, or country that you're coming to us from. If you want to share your name, great. A lot of you all don't, and that's fine. But just tell us the city, state, or country that you're coming to us from tonight. I would appreciate that. You all know I'm always trying to get to know where my folks are coming to me from, okay? All right. So I got my notes and I even brought my BHRT.
Oh, I got
I
my
brought my
stuff
BHRT.
too.
Yep.
I
I
got my
brought my
stuff.
BHRT, y'all. We're going to talk about it. All right. Trey, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Excellent. Excellent. It was 92 here. It was a hot one.
Oh, it wasn't
So
too bad here today.
okay, but I was out there with the hose trying to keep my garden alive because my son is like, "You've been out 3 times today." I was like, "Hey, I keep this garden alive. It's hot out here." Okay, it is a pleasure to have you, and we're going to talk about a very important topic for women 40 plus. Some women as young as 35, based on my research, can start having perimenopausal symptoms. But we're going to talk a little bit about menopause and to not put our men on pause.
Yes.
So, and what happens. Like, tell us a little bit about, I don't know if you want to share your journey. I don't know how you feel about sharing your age.
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
on my platform knows my age, but tell us a little bit about you and what you do, and then just tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yes. I'm Trey Kearney. I'm a certified life and relationship coach. I am 54 years old. I am in
Okay.
perimenopause at the present time, and I still get my period. So I'm
Okay.
caught up in the matrix somewhere. I'm too old to be
Okay.
young and too young to be old. I can
Yep.
still have a kid, which we not. But my journey, well, this whole conversation started for me when I posted up a video a couple weeks ago, and I said that women can't use the excuse of menopause to stop sleeping with their husbands,
Mm-hmm.
to stop pleasing their husbands, to stop being emotionally connected. And women were so mad that I said that. And
Yeah.
I was just like, wait a minute, I'm not judging you. I'm telling you that do it. And I started to do some research because I'm big on Generation X, and that's my
Yeah.
crowd. And I'm
Yep.
big on helping us maintain, sustain, and remain in healthy relationships. And
Right.
lately, over the years, I've been trying to figure out, and I have a show with Lamar, who's a Gen X man. Where's the myth
Mm-hmm.
in Gen X couples? Why are Gen X men dating 34-year-old women, 35? Why are they going so young? And I'm trying to realize, and I realized that when I was doing research, that it says 60% of women who file for divorce file during the menopause years.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and I just want to say this before we even get started, before women get offended. Please don't get offended. I understand that our libidos are getting low. I understand that we got night sweats and hot flashes. I understand that our hair is getting thin. I
Mm-hmm.
understand all of the stuff because I'm going
Yep.
through it. So my video was not to offend anybody, but to say to you, us as women, we're losing this battle of menopause, and we don't
Mm-hmm.
have to, because
Yep.
there's ways to combat the symptoms. And I heard this doctor say, when I was doing some research, menopause is not a disease.
Right.
It's not a disease that needs to be treated. So,
Yeah.
but it is treatable to manage
Yeah.
the symptoms, but you have to want to.
Right.
And again, for the women that were going off like, everybody, our life shouldn't revolve around the man, and y'all gotta chill.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta chill.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell you that you are acting out, and there's ways to prevent this. And then I said it was mindset. There's a mindset behind
Yep.
this. And women were like, oh no, it's not mindset. Everything is mindset. Every
Yep.
illness, every
Yeah.
disease, depression, you have to start to work on your mind because it all starts here. But the
Right.
women just was really going off on me, Anita, and I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm not for everybody. So this is not for the woman who wants to use menopause as an excuse to check out of her relationship or to check out
Yep.
of life.
Yep.
We're here for women who want solutions,
Yep.
who want to maintain their quality of life, and who are willing
Mhm.
to do the work and the research.
Right. That's right.
My
That's
hip
right.
hurt. My hip hurt all the time. And
Yeah.
I decide that I don't sit on my couch and be like, oh, my hip hurt, so I'm just going to check out in life. No, I use supplements and I use
Hmm.
oils and I use natural things and I get myself up and I stretch and I move around because I'll be dipped in doo-doo if I'm going to lose my quality of life and not be outside with my friends and not
Right.
have a man. Because of
Right.
menopause don't care about, my son is on the autism spectrum. He's
Hmm.
15, he's nonverbal, he needs help with everything. You think
Yeah.
menopause care that
Yeah.
he need a shower? That, oh no, menopause don't care.
Yep.
So guess what? I gotta combat the symptoms
Right.
and
Right.
keep it moving.
Right. And like you said, it's something I've recognized as well. Couples that come into my practice. I'm thinking of one couple in particular. I think the husband's 56 and the wife is 53. And she had a lot of symptoms of menopause. And we talked quite a bit, she and I, just on our own, about things that she could do. And she started applying some of those things that I shared with her. And I said, yeah, I want you to try this because it's not just for him, it's also for you to feel better. Like, she wasn't feeling like herself, she wasn't feeling
Right.
good. So, and they had been married maybe 26 years. They had been married a long time.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
mm-hmm.
nothing makes me feel sadder, though, to see people in their 50s like get a divorce. Because in my mind, I keep trying to warn them, like, honey, you don't want to be out here. No, you don't do that.
No,
And they
hold
think
on.
I'm playing, but I'm like, no, I'm not.
Hold
Like,
on to what you
right.
got. I'm telling you, and I coach men,
Hmm.
right? I coach men and I coach couples.
Hmm.
And men, and I'm just trying to tell the ladies, listen, I'm trying to let you know that I'm the one that your husband comes to confide in
Right.
and what's going on in his mind during menopause, right?
Hmm.
And we understand the reason for the behavior, right? We
Right.
understand
Right.
menopause is the reason for the behavior, but it's not an excuse for the poor behavior. It's
Right.
not an excuse for you to check out. And your husbands and your boyfriends and your fiancés are telling me, I'm
Hmm.
getting ready to bounce.
Right.
I can't take this anymore. There are men that are coming to me telling me, oh, my wife, she's like, don't touch me. Don't
Yeah.
touch me. You can't handle your man like that. Even if
Right.
you don't want him to touch you, there's a way to have that discussion.
Yeah.
There are other things that you can do to please your man. And what they don't understand, Anita, is this.
Hmm.
A lot of these men are out here having emotional affairs. It's
Right.
not even about the
Right.
booty. Excuse me if
Yeah.
I say that. It's not
Yeah.
even about the booty.
Hmm.
These men are out here being emotionally starved and mentally abused
Yep.
by the women who are going through menopause. The same compassion, care, and concern that you want, you need to give that to not only your husband, but the people in your home. Your children are suffering. This
Right.
one young lady put a comment on one of my YouTube videos and said, made me so sad. She said, thank you so much for talking about this. My mom was so mean to my dad that my
Mm.
dad unalived
Mm.
himself. This
Mm.
and this is the daughter who watched this.
Right.
And then there's other men who've told me that their kids come to them because they've left the home and say,
Yeah.
I don't know how you put up with her all for this long. Your
Yeah.
own kids are saying this about you, and you have to
Yeah.
make a conscious decision
Yep.
to want to use the resources. And women are so quick to say about HRT, oh, I heard such bad things about it. Did you do your research? Does it
Right.
pertain to you though?
Hmm.
Because what's bad for one person is not bad for another person. But you heard one person say, oh, the side effects or the this and that, but you taking all kind of pills for other stuff. Like,
Right.
yo, you out here taking
Right.
all kind of pharmaceuticals that's causing you all kind of side effects for other things, but you so stuck on they said this and that. No, you just have gotten into the fact of to the point of using menopause as an excuse
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
fall back. back in life, not only on your husband, but everybody. But my concern is the family unit.
Yeah.
I am a person that really believes in family because my family suffered drastically from adultery on my part.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big component of helping families, and I see that this is a big problem why Generation X couples are dissolving,
Yeah.
because we are most
Yeah.
we're all going through
Yep.
menopause. All the Generation X women,
Yep.
most of us, or
Yep.
peri or post, but
Yep.
we got to get a hold on this. And I say this too, and we want them to have some solutions. My hip hurts like a lot of most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I use, and I have some stuff here. I
Mm-hmm.
use this from, it's an all natural oil called arnica oil
Yep.
from this
Yep.
couple. They have a farm in Colorado, I believe, and the name of their company is Rock and Roots. I use
Mm-hmm.
this from their company. I use Calm. They have another oil
Okay.
that calms me down when I'm having anxiety, because menopause causes anxiety.
It
And I used to
does.
think, like, what's wrong with me? Like, why is my heart beating so fast? What's the
Yep.
matter? So I had to
Yep.
go out and I do a lot of natural supplements, but I also believe in, if my hip hurt too bad, a girl will pop a Tylenol.
Yeah.
I'm
There you go.
I'm
Yep.
not gonna sit here and complain about it. I'm
Right.
gonna find ways to beat menopause, and that's all I wanted to say to the ladies. Like,
Yeah.
you about to lose your man.
Yeah.
I see your man outside. I see your man outside.
Mhm.
I don't want your
Yeah.
man.
Right.
But I tell you this, and my clients that come to me, there's two things that they are contemplating: leaving you, and I'm talking to the women that
Yeah.
are that woman that we're talking to that has checked out of the marriage physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Right.
Your man is talking about either leaving you or cheating on you.
Mm.
And when I talk to my client, I say, listen, cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem, number
Right.
one.
Right.
And
Right.
cheating says everything about you and nothing about your wife.
Right.
Now, I know it's a hard decision to have to leave,
Yeah.
but cheating is compromising the content of your integrity. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest that you do that.
Yeah.
But off the record, not as a coach right now, I understand.
Right. Right. Because they
You
have
ain't slept with
needs.
your husband in 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. And I say it on my platform all the time. That is completely unacceptable. And I tell women that if you ever think you want to stop having sex, you should not marry a man.
Right.
Period.
And if
Like you need to rethink
right,
that.
and if you've gotten to the point in that marriage where you have decided that this is going to
Mhm.
be a sexless
Yeah.
marriage, you got to just be honest with your husband and let
Hmm.
him make the decision if he wants a roommate. And number two, if you are saying that you no longer want to have sex in a marriage, are you giving your husband permission to go outside of the marriage to get his needs met? I mean, these
Right.
are real questions that I really be asking women. Like,
Yeah.
you have to really sit down in this marriage with this man who has been with you since you're 25 and now y'all are 50, and you've decided that you're never going to sleep with him again.
Right.
You
Yeah.
have to
That's
really be honest with him and let him know, I'm never going to have sex with you again.
right.
And he can say, I'm going to stay or I'm going to go, but it's unfair
Right.
for you to have him begging you and to
Yep.
keep asking you, knowing in your mind,
Yeah.
I'm
That you're done.
not sleeping with
Yeah.
him no more.
Yep.
I, I
Yep.
just think we need to be really honest here. And I know people don't like to hear or talk about divorce, but we're having a real talk here. And we're not,
Yeah.
we got the churchy biblical people. I love the Lord, the Father, the Son, and the Holy
Right.
Spirit. But I'm for real. We live in a real world.
Yeah.
We live in a real world where there's temptation everywhere. And if you have
Hmm.
checked out on your husband, physically, mentally, or emotionally, desperate people do desperate things,
Yeah.
and hungry, starving people will eat anything and drink from any cup. So when you send
That's.
your man out there thirsty,
Hmm.
trust me, there's a thirstier
Yeah.
chick.
Yep.
These women, Anita,
Yeah. No,
these women
I
is worse
know.
than the men.
I
I'm like,
know.
I have a
Yep.
movement called hashtag no side chicken, where I encourage
Hmm.
women to honor, guard, and respect each other's relationships
Right.
in hopes of ending the infidelity epidemic. Do you know how many women be going off? I'm not the one that's married, and it ain't my problem. He don't. I'm just like, these are the women
Yeah.
that your husband, who's not getting sex at home, that your husband, who's not getting the emotional needs met at home,
Mm-hmm.
is meeting outside in these streets that are
Yep.
pushing up on them. Your husband ain't
Yep.
even thinking about cheating,
Yeah.
but it
And the women,
only
yep.
takes the wrong time at the right time
Yep.
for the climate to be right, for something, for mold to grow. And I
That's it.
just need the women to understand you cannot, and I'm going to say this to y'all, and y'all could be mad as hell at me. I don't care. You cannot use menopause as an excuse to stop sleeping with your husband.
Yeah.
Because if you do, one of two things is going to happen. He either going to leave you or
Mm-hmm.
he going to go sleep with somebody else. Now, you could decide if you're mad, if you're glad, if you don't
Right.
care, because that's another thing with Generation X women. They got big mouths. Oh, if
Yep.
that's what he going to do, then that's what he going to do. And I
Okay.
don't care until it
Okay.
happens.
Yep.
Then, oh, now you mad. I thought you didn't want him. I thought you didn't
Right.
care.
Yep.
You out
Yep.
here telling him, go do what you got to do.
Yeah. Okay. Allie Tater 85 says we need truth. That's real love. Yeah, because I mean, y'all know AAA is gonna keep it real. Like, you know how I do it. I'm gonna keep it real. I ask hard questions. I say hard things, and we need more of this. Like, we cannot put our head in the sand. And so I did some research for the ladies that are on here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the variety of symptoms that you will experience, whether you are in perimenopause. That can happen anywhere from 35 to around 50. The average age of menopause beginning is 51, but it can start as early as 35, depending on the woman. And so that is kind of the beginning. You're still having a cycle. Maybe that cycle is shorter. Maybe you're skipping a cycle. That could last anywhere from 5 years, 10 years, so it just depends on the woman. But here are some of the symptoms you're going to, and this is for the gentleman too. If you notice any of these things in your woman, I want you to have a conversation. So vasomotor symptoms, which are the hot flashes, the night sweats, some women get chills. The sleep issues, that was huge for me. So the insomnia, difficulty falling asleep, difficulty staying asleep. Mood changes, this was also another big one. So an increase in anxiety, an increase in depression, irritability, low motivation, okay? Skin changes, your skin can become drier or it can become oilier, okay? You can get acne again. Acne can come back. You can start seeing more of those fine lines and wrinkles. Hair changes, your hair could thin or you could lose a lot of hair. Like, you'll see more hair in your brush or as you're shampooing your hair. Weight gain, especially around your middle. They call it the menopausal middle, where you will be able to maintain your frame except around your middle. And that happened to me. For the most part, I look like I did when I was in college, but I had this little pouch, this little tummy. So weight gain, your metabolism is going to slow down. You're going to have some sexual dysfunction. And this could look like vaginal dryness. This could look like discomfort during sex. It could look like urinary incontinence. Okay, so again, you have to address it. It's not enough to just say, well, it's painful. Okay, I understand that, but you have to go to your doctor and address it. There are things that they can do to help with that. And then your menstrual cycle, that's kind of like the first sign for a lot of people. Either it's skipping, it doesn't come, it doesn't last as long, it's lighter. Joint pain, that's another one that I had. All my joints, my knees, my shoulders. There's even this thing called lock shoulder, where your shoulder will pinch. That happened to me in both shoulders. It has now since gotten better because I'm on BHRT. But brain fog, dry eyes, changes in your breast size. Let me tell y'all something. This might be TMI. This might be TMI. But when I had my BHRT was increased in January. So it's June now. When I tell y'all, the girls, they like perk right up. Like, the girls just perked up. I took a picture of them and sent it to my best friend. I said, girl, my girls is firm again. She said, "Woo, girl, that estrogen is kicking in." I said, "Yeah." So just letting y'all know, it'll make your body look young again. Like your girls will perk up. Everything is like, it's great. BHRT is great. We're gonna talk about that. But you could get headaches. Um, you could have increased heart rate, the heart palpitations. I experienced those. Some people have excessive body hair. Um, what else? We talked about pain during sex. Yeah, but these are some of the signs and symptoms. Forgetfulness, brain fog. Yeah, so if you're a gentleman and you're married and you notice any of these signs and symptoms in your woman, that means it's just time to have a grown-up conversation. Like,
Absolutely.
like we're grown-ups. We're gonna get older. And as I said earlier, I would rather get older than the alternative.
Yes.
Like I'd rather be on this side of the dirt 80 years old. so I
That's
don't
the
know why
plan.
why we tripping. Like we're gonna get older. So and guess what, gentlemen? Guess what? You gonna get older too. Andropause is gonna knock on your door around 50. And look, lately they saying men's testosterone is plummeting at like 35,
Mm,
40. Then
mm.
what? So we have to address these things, and we have to be willing, as I always tell you all, a good, happy, healthy sex life. The number one thing is you have to be willing to talk. You have to use words.
You
You have to
gotta.
use words.
Yes.
So we got to
Communication is
talk about
key.
it. Yep.
Yes.
We
And
got to talk about it.
we can't get offended. And this is why a lot of men who I am having conversations with are
Hmm.
not talking to their spouse about it, because as soon as he tries to
Yep.
have a conversation, there's the attitude. They're
Yep.
offended.
Yep.
They make it about them. It turns into I'm crying. You're hurting my feelings,
Hmm.
and nothing gets resolved. Like you really
Yep.
have to be able to have an adult conversation and understand that you're not the only one that's going through menopause, honestly.
Right.
When there are people in the home with you, like
Yep.
I'm 54 and I have a 15-year
Hmm.
old. So there are a lot of 54-year-olds who have 12-year-olds, 13,
Yep.
15 in high school. You're not the only one going through menopause. Everybody that is in that house is going through menopause with you. And
Right.
it is not fair for you to not address the situation with the people who have to be on the other side of you.
Out of it. Yep. Yep.
You need to ask yourself on a regular basis, what is it like to be on the other side of Trey?
Yeah.
How am I acting toward people? How are people receiving me? How am
Yep.
I behaving? Because I'm going through menopause, I have perimenopause.
Yeah.
I have to be aware of this because I wake up in the morning sometimes and my attitude ain't right. And I know
Right.
it.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, my attitude ain't right. One, because I woke up and my whole left side hurting. So
Yeah.
now I'm mad. So I'm sitting up and I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I gotta, then, my head's
Yep.
hurting, my fingers is tingling, and I'm just like, okay, you gotta remember that you have to go deal with my son who's on the spectrum. You need to
Yeah.
get your whole entire
Yeah.
vibe together because he runs on vibes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta get your whole entire vibe together. Then you gotta go and you gotta deal with clients and customers,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no excuse. So when we are going through menopause, we have to realize that everybody that comes in contact, close proximity to us, they're going through menopause with us, and
Right.
they don't deserve the fact that you don't want to communicate. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone. No, I'm gonna leave
Yeah.
you alone, all right. When I tell
Yeah.
you I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave you alone, I'm gonna leave you
Right.
alone.
Exactly.
It's
You
like
gonna
if
get
you
left alone.
it's like if it's as if your husband didn't want to pay the bills anymore and didn't want to talk about it.
Yep.
You
Yep.
would be like, no, these bills have to get paid. I don't want to talk. I'm not talking about that. And
Yeah.
the mortgage ain't paid and the
Yep.
car note ain't. But I don't want to talk about that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. And you said something the other night when we were talking. You said an analogy of what it feels like for the man, and I can't
Yeah.
remember what it was, but it was
It's
so
just
good.
it's just if men didn't talk. Like if men
Right.
just
That's what it was.
stop talking. Yeah, that's what women need. We need to talk or someone to listen. But if men stop doing that, and they did that for years, a
Yeah,
woman would feel emotionally abused. So,
and desperate.
yeah,
And she
yeah.
would go out
And she would
and
talk
start
to
talking to
her work
some.
husband, and yep, she would talk to some other man. So, like I said, women need to understand that for men, it is sexual fulfillment. They
Yes.
need to be wanted and desired. They need to be close to you. They need that release. They need to release those hormones to stay connected to you. And if they're not doing that, that bond is getting weaker and weaker.
And temptation is getting stronger and
And
stronger.
stronger.
And
That's
I
right.
tell women all the time, your husband, just imagine this, the day in the life of your husband. Your
Hmm.
husband walks outside.
Yep.
There is Karen who lives next door. That's,
Yep.
hey. And then your
Yep.
husband goes down the street to catch the train.
Yeah.
And two girls that live on a neighborhood block, they know him, they wave, and they trying to get his attention. Then he gets on the train with the
Yep.
regulars, the woman that he sits next to every day, and they chit-chatting. Then
Hmm.
he gets to the job, and there's 6 or 7 ladies at the
Yep.
job. 2 of them are single. One is married, unhappy, looking at your husband.
Yep.
Then at the end of the day, he comes out of the office and he goes to the Starbucks. The girl at
Yep.
Starbucks in the morning, she knows his drink. So
Yep.
she's putting little hearts on the cup every day. Hey, Keith, hearty heart, and all of a sudden
Hmm.
they talking. She know his drink, and she make it to perfection every step of the
Hmm.
way. Then he goes to the gym after work with the girl who's saying, "Can you spot me?" So your husband
Yep.
has all this temptation that he needs to resist
Right.
on a daily basis, and you're emotionally and physically starving him. And
Yep.
all of these women are vying for his attention, and
That's
he's
right.
he's not even aware of it until he's aware of it.
Right.
When he's emotionally and physically starved, somebody's gonna catch his attention, and that's all I'm telling you. And again, well, if he could be this and that, no, there's temptation, and when there is a need, cheating is a symptom of a bigger problem.
Right.
Whether
Right.
it is emotional cheating or whether
Yeah.
it's physical
Physical.
cheating, it's a
Yeah.
need not being met.
Right.
And it is not your fault if your husband decides to go out and cheat or vice
Hmm.
versa.
Hmm.
But you are accountable for the breakdown in the relationship long before anybody cheated,
Right.
long before he had to go and emotionally connect with somebody, long before the emotional connection turned into a physical affair. There was a breakdown in the relationship long before that happened, and we as women have to be accountable for that when we are going through menopause. And we
Right.
have to
Right.
stop saying, I'm going through menopause and you don't know, Trey, these symptoms. Yes, I
Yeah.
do, because almost every symptom that
Yep.
my sister Anita just
Yep.
named, I'm almost all of
All
them.
of them.
That's why I was nodding.
Yep.
I'm living with it.
Yep. Yep. And
I probably,
and get
I'm
and
probably
guess
gonna have a
what?
hot flash in a few
Yeah,
minutes.
but all of us will. Like one day, every woman, God willing, if she is alive, she will go through perimenopause and menopause. So,
Yes.
okay, like you said, we all will go through it if we're alive. And so we have to learn how to manage it. And think about it. My mom is 81, my dad is 82, I'm 56. So I'm at least going to live till I'm 81 or 82. And I can't just
Absolutely.
lay down and not do anything else. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
So I have to manage it. And that's what I want women to know. Like, God willing, you're going to live till 80 or 90. So please manage it well and manage your relationship well.
Yeah,
So if that is causing problems,
and
yeah.
you have to be willing to make some sacrifices. And
Yeah.
this is the thing about us as women. A
Hmm.
lot of times we don't want to make the sacrifices that require the symptoms to go away. Like you might not be able to drink liquor no more.
Right.
You might not be able to drink coffee no more.
Yep.
I drink 1 cup of coffee now because I'm a coffee girl.
Hmm.
But I tell you, baby, coffee
Yeah.
will set me off on the wrong day. I will be
It
sitting there and be
will.
like, flame on, and I'll just be like,
Yep.
oh no, I can't drink coffee again. So
Yeah.
you have
Nope.
to be willing to let go of the spicy food. You got to be willing to let go of the coffee. You got to be willing to let go of the alcohol. You got to be willing
Yep.
to let go of the dairy. Whatever it is, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, and you're gonna have to get your
That's
diet
it.
right. You're gonna have to
That's
start
it.
juicing. You can't be
Hmm.
eating all that McDonald's and Wendy's. All of that stuff has hormones in it that
Yep.
set
Yep.
you off. And you like,
Yep.
why am I off today? Because you just ate that burger from Wendy's and it's
Yep.
processed and then fries and it then set off everything in your body because your body is resisting it. But you have to be willing to make sacrifices. There are some,
Yeah.
I can't eat chocolate. I
Yeah.
can chocolate I always,
Yeah.
and I try every now and then, and it always fails me.
Yeah.
Chocolate will have me sitting here pouring down sweat, and then at night,
Mm-hmm.
if I eat sugar after 6,
Yeah.
the bed wet.
Yeah.
So I know if you're gonna have any sugar, you probably need to do that by 3 now. It's getting earlier and
Right.
earlier, so I'm
Yeah.
probably just gonna have to cut the sugar out. But
Right.
I'm fighting it.
Yep.
I'm fighting
Yep.
it.
So I want to bring you all some solutions. Um, I'm going to, of course, talk about the solution that has worked for me. I tried, because what really brought about my menopause was actually, I had a hysterectomy. I had a partial hysterectomy. I want to say I was 40, it might have been 10 years ago. Yeah, it was 10 years ago. I remember. I was 46 and I was kind of over it. You know, I'd been diagnosed with endometriosis like young, and some PCOS stuff. And I'd had all the children I was going to have. And so I was kind of over it. I was like, yeah, you can remove my uterus, keep my ovaries. That's what I did. I kept my ovaries. I removed my uterus. And so technically, that then threw me into perimenopause. And I started noticing some symptoms there. Now, they put me on an injection, and I'm going to try to remember the name of it. And that was a chemical. Like they gave me a chemical injection. I want to say it lasted a year, and it alleviated all of those symptoms. But that injection had side effects, and I did not want to keep doing that every year. So I started looking into some natural things like one of them's amberin, one of them's estrogen. I started taking soy isoflavones. I started taking donquai. I started taking cramp bark, chasteberry. There were a lot of herbs that I started taking. And that was okay. But once my ovaries naturally started to shut down, that's when my body was going haywire. So this is the number one thing I found out just today. It says physiological reconstruction of the brain. Like what women need to understand is there are receptors in your brain where estrogen goes in, right? Because we are XX, that is what, and let me, because y'all know my platform, right? Let me explain to y'all what a woman is, since everybody is so confused. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now. So, if you have a vagina, if you have a uterus, if you have ovaries, if you have an XX chromosome, if you got breasts, no matter how big or small they are, right? You're a woman. Okay, I don't know why the world is confused about that. I just told you what a woman was. So I have an XX chromosome. That means that my brain is different. There are receptors in my brain in which estrogen goes in. So the receptors in the brain start to shut down when estrogen
Yes.
drops. And that explains the mental health symptoms, the brain fog, the cognitive symptoms that women start to experience, the frustration, the depression. It's because the way our body is made, it is run off of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. It's a tiny bit, not a lot, but we need those things. And when those things start to go down, we are going to start to notice physical symptoms, but even cognitive symptoms.
Yes.
That's why it's so important that we address it. So this is what the doctor said, and I noticed this too. I went up to Canada with my daughter. I want to say I was like 49 or 50. So we went up to Toronto. I actually met with a naturopathic doctor, and I kid y'all not, I brought an extra suitcase when we went up there. I filled it with all of these supplements that you can't even get here in the States. I
Oh.
filled that suitcase. I went up there. I said, yep, I'm going to get everything I need when I'm in Canada. I filled that suitcase with it. I brought it back. It lasted 2 years. But he said that women want to make sure that they start, that like you have to be proactive. You
Yes.
can't wait until you're in the middle or towards the end. You want to be proactive. As soon as you feel those symptoms, start addressing them. Like start addressing them right away. That women like that, they have better outcome. Okay.
Yes.
But if you let it go so far, you don't do anything, vaginal atrophy can happen. Like there's some things that can happen that you may not be able to come back from. So you want to catch it. He talked about a 10-year window. So that 10-year window is from like perimenopause to full on menopause.
Yes.
Somewhere in there, you got to start addressing it. You got to start dealing with it.
Yes.
So I like BHRT. Under this video, once it is reposted, I am actually going to put my personal referral link to Thrive Lab. That's the company that I use. I have a nurse practitioner that I work with. I see her every 3 months. She's the one who prescribes my BHRT medication. We call it medication, but here's what I want you to know. It is made from plants. Okay, it is not chemical. It is made from plants. So I take progesterone every night. I take a thyroid medication in the morning. And then I put these creams on every morning. Okay, so you can get it through patch. You can get it through pellet. You can orally take it. There are a lot of ways for you to take BHRT, but what it's going to do is it is going to be a bridge. So if you're at perimenopause and menopause is over here, BHRT is that bridge. It's going to bridge those things together. So that way you're not having really bad reactions, like really bad symptoms. I have a client right now who's in a horrible depression. Like she can't work.
Mm.
And I've suggested like, hey, you need to, something like this is bad. Like you need to really consider this, do the research and consider taking a BHRT. Because yeah, she can't even work. Like it's
Yeah.
really bad.
You, you,
Yeah. So
you you really got to be willing to address it, and you
yep,
cannot be afraid to try something that, like you
right.
said, your nurse practitioner had, she knows what she's doing. You're going to be monitored whatever you decide to
Yep.
do. Like I said, I use all natural right now because I'm not there,
Yeah.
but if I get there,
Yeah.
trust me, I will be calling your girl up like, we need to have a conversation,
Yep.
because we have to be willing to have these real conversations, and we have to be okay with trying things,
Yep.
not based on what happened to somebody else. And I know we want to do our research and say
Yeah.
how many people had these amount of side effects, but some women can't, over 60 shouldn't do
Yeah.
certain things. I've been doing research. So once you're past 60, like you said, that 10-year
That
window,
10-year window.
you gotta,
Yeah.
your doctor
It's
should
not.
know
Yeah.
that this is not for you.
Yep.
But for those of us who are just in perimenopause and on this journey, be proactive instead of reactive. Like I said,
Yep.
I use a lot of stuff. I use this from doTERRA,
Mm-hmm.
phytoestrogen, and it's all
Yes.
natural too. I
Yep.
use this from
Yep.
doTERRA.
Yep.
I use peppermint oil from doTERRA for hot flashes.
Mm-hmm.
I use the arnica oil from Rock and Roots Farm, which is excellent for my joints. Like
Okay.
it's just excellent for my hip. Like I really be like, oh my, I'm struggling. I put it on, maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, the relief is there,
Yeah,
and I
that's
could put it
good.
on as many times a day as I want,
Correct.
because it's just arnica oil. It's
Yeah,
not,
that's it.
like you
It's
said, a
not gonna hurt you.
chemical. It's not gonna
Yep.
hurt me. But
Yep.
and again, I have to say this, from without the medication and a practical standpoint, you have to decide that
Mm-hmm.
you want to be better. You cannot want to be combative with everybody. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot, oh, well, I'm going, no, you have to decide, like we've decided.
Yeah.
Menopause ain't taking me out, okay?
Nope.
I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And when
Mm-hmm.
symptoms come, I'm going to fight them symptoms. And I'm not going to sit around and tell my family and tell my man, I'm going through menopause. Don't touch me. My
Right.
attitude stinks because I'm going through menopause. No, you need to go see a therapist.
Yep.
You are struggling with
Yep.
your mind,
Mm.
you need to go see a therapist so that your therapist can suggest some things to you.
Yeah.
You need to go get you a life coach, because maybe you're overwhelmed in life and there's
Mm-hmm.
too much stuff on your plate and you can't juggle it all. So it's really setting your menopause symptoms off. You
Right.
need to do things for your mind, your body, your spirit. You need to really go and check yourself. We as women have to look at ourselves at our age and say, hey, we're the common denominator to the breakups. If
Yeah.
60% of women are filing for divorce during the menopause years, there's something there. We can't
Yeah.
just keep blaming men. And then when we see the statistics that women are filing at a high rate of divorce, we're quick to blame the man. Oh, well,
Right.
he cheated. Well, let's talk about the reason why he cheated. Because you
Mm-hmm.
have checked out of the marriage sexually and emotionally,
Right.
and the man ain't out here just running the streets. But
Right.
we, as soon as we hear infidelity from a woman who went and got a divorce and the cause of it was infidelity, we're quick to blame the man.
Right.
You emotionally checked out and decided that you was going to have a sexless marriage for the rest of your life, and your husband decided that I have to handle my business, and now you found out that there's something going on or whatever, or he's just fed up, so it's a lot of arguing, and now you're like, instead of going to work on the problem, you would rather go get a divorce
Mm-hmm.
than to be accountable for the fact that you are part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, ladies, but menopause is a natural part of our life. And
Yeah.
we cannot sit around blaming folks and pointing fingers and saying what we not going to do.
Yep.
Because if you no longer want to have sex with your husband, send him on his way. If you
Mm-hmm.
no longer want to be emotionally connected to anybody, you just want to live by yourself,
Yep.
you got every right to say that in this season of your life, but you don't
Yeah.
have the right to torture the people around you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're telling the truth.
Because
So, yeah,
there are things that you can do.
that's right. That's right. And so I want people to know what's available. I want you to do your research. Um, there's natural things you can try. There is a hormone replacement therapy that is chemically based. That's actually what my mother got on, and this was years and years ago. My mother got on a chemical hormone replacement therapy, and she was excited to find out about BHRT. She's like, "Oh, this is something different. This is not chemical. It's made from plants." I said, "Yeah, and it's working great." So, depending on your system, like, you're going to want to work with a professional. And the greatest thing that happened recently is that Thrive Lab, the company that I refer people to all the time, they recently started taking insurance. For years, I need y'all to hear this. This is how passionate I am about this. For years, I paid about $250
Mm.
a month for my prescriptions, because I deemed that to not do that, like, I had no quality of life. That $250 was a drop in the bucket to my quality of life. And look, I had a male best friend that he said, "Well, if that'll get me laid, I'll pay the $250." Like, it was like, my lady ain't putting out. He's like, "I'm gonna send her over there, to where you go, because I'd be willing to pay for it.
Thank
If it
you.
would get me laid, I'd be willing to pay for the thing." But now, ladies, I want you to know, Thrive Lab accepts insurance. So in my mind, you have no excuse. And for me, when I found out how much it cost, I still didn't care. I was like, "Oh, I guess they getting my $250 every month." That's what I'm gonna be doing.
But I know
Okay.
that's right, because if it is whatever is going to make you better and
Right.
heal you, I don't care
Right.
how much money it is. I'm gonna be on the pole if I need to be. Like,
Yeah.
we gonna be shaking and jiggling and upside down
Yeah.
if it's gonna take these hot flashes away and give me back my quality of
That's
life. But what I'm not
right.
gonna do is make up an excuse to say it costs too much,
Yeah.
because you'll get that bag and
Yeah.
you'll get them that hair and you'll
Yep.
get them eyelashes and you get them
Yep.
nails. I tell you what, do your own nails, do your own hair,
Yep.
and pay that money that you need to pay for these
I
supplements, because
feel
I
better.
get my
Yeah.
orders. I just got another bottle of arnica oil because,
Mm-hmm.
again, they're growing it on the farm.
Right.
So sometimes they'll run out because the
Mm-hmm.
season, they don't have the flowers anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got to have, I'm like, send me my oil. Don't
Yep.
play no games. And they
Yep.
also have this massage oil right here,
Okay.
which is excellent too for your
Mm-hmm.
joints, and it has CBD in it. But it's excellent. I got all my friends on it for other
Yeah.
reasons too, because were having joint pain in their hands. One of my good friends, like, she was at the
Mm-hmm.
computer, like, gave her a little bit of this. She was like, "What
Yeah.
is that?" Because you need to send me the link to that. So you have to be willing to do what you need to do to
Mm-hmm.
get your quality quality of life back. And we're not just talking about for our husbands. We're not just
Right.
talking about for
Right.
sex and for emotions and
Yeah.
for our man. For yourself. Like
That's right.
you're living a half life.
Yep.
Like, why do you want to do that? And again, that is a wonderful BHRT
Yeah.
for any woman that's listening. If you are at the point of where you are struggling, where your quality of life is zero, where you are
Yeah.
about to lose your job, where
Yep.
you can't afford not to. I hate
Exactly.
when people say, I can't afford it.
No.
Baby, you can't afford not to.
Yep.
You better stop drinking at Starbucks
See,
and,
see,
and
you
get
about to
that,
lose your job, lose your husband.
lose
Yeah, you need
your
to
life.
you need to prioritize what's really important.
Yeah,
So,
I'm telling you, they
yeah,
get them shoes. They get them
yep,
shoes. They get them baby hair edges.
yep,
They get them eyelashes. They get them
see,
20-inch pointy nails. They
yep,
want them 72 Amazon packages coming a week.
yep,
No, no,
yep,
you gotta not get that shirt
yep,
because you talking about, oh, I can't afford it. But you spending $20 on a shirt here, $50 on some shoes there.
hmm,
You're going to get your hair done for $120. You got a
yep,
bag that you talking about you can't afford your health stuff, but you got
right,
a bag with no money in it. Are you kidding me? You better.
mm,
I'll tell you people in a minute. I'll carry a purse from Target.
yep,
I just need to get
yep,
my stuff around with me. I just need to get my oils with me.
that's
So you
it.
have to understand that there's no excuse.
Nope.
Menopause is not an excuse. And I hate for every woman that get mad when I say that, I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you. Menopause is not an excuse for you to check out of life, check out on your husband, check out on your children. It is no excuse when there are
No.
resources that you can get.
Nope. You're exactly right. If you all have any questions, if you have any comments, I want you to put them in the chat, in the comment section. It's Bree30 says, so great to see sisters prioritizing their health to the highest level. Most definitely, because like I said, I still work out 4 times a week. That's the other thing I noticed was my muscle mass. My muscle mass was going down, and I got a new trainer, and he was like, no more cardio. You may walk. So this is one thing I tell ladies. Once you're over 40, you have to prioritize your stress level. You have to prioritize lowering your cortisol. The best way to do that is to walk out in nature. So
Mm,
just walking outside, the trees absorb negative energy. The sun gives you vitamin D. Like just walking outside
yes.
will lower your cortisol. So my trainer said, no more cardio because I was doing all this cardio crap. He was like, nope, no more cardio. You're just going to walk every morning. You'll walk the dog or walk around. You'll come in here and you'll lift.
Yes.
And every week we will lift a little heavier and a little heavier and a little heavier. And that's what's happened. I've just lifted. Like that's it. That's all I do is I lift and I walk. But
Yeah.
those are the things that we need as we get older. The other thing I want to stress to you ladies is your sleep. Some of y'all's sleeping habits are horrible. And your lack of sleep, that is going to wreck your hormones.
Mm,
You have to prioritize good quality
mm.
sleep. Okay, so
Again,
please,
again,
yeah,
Anita, you have to be willing to
something.
sacrifice the scroll.
Yep,
Stop scrolling
yep,
at night. Go,
yep,
no, because you got to be. And I'm speaking to myself too.
yeah,
Because now I'm like, you need to put the phone down and go to sleep. What are
yep,
you doing? Like, you
yep,
can't be, you got, too many of us have scoliosis.
yep.
When we get in the bed,
We
we
do.
scrolling,
Yep,
scrolling. And
we
by
do.
before you know it, you could have been asleep at 10 o'clock. Before
Yep,
you know it, you didn't scrolled yourself to 11:30. And then you wondering
yep.
in the morning, why
Oh, I'm
my
so
joints
tired.
hurt? Why am I
Yep,
so tired? Why do I have
yep.
brain fog? Because you only had 5 hours of sleep.
You're
And
right.
then you got up to pee in the middle of the night. So
Right.
really you didn't get 5 hours because you had to
Yep.
fall back to sleep and it took you about 30 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be willing to sacrifice because you're worth it, ladies. We're
Yeah.
worth it. I'm worth
Yes.
not eating a piece of chocolate. I got to know
Yeah.
that though. I'm
Yep.
worth not drinking a glass of wine or a shot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
worth it because I know what that's doing to my body. I'm
Right.
worth putting down whatever it is that is causing me the symptoms. The
Yeah.
brain fog and all of these things are coming from things that we are not taking care of. You got to get some supplements in your body.
Yep.
If you're not taking vitamin D or you need iron, you have to go and check out yourself. Go to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
If you may be anemic, if you don't know what you don't know, then your body is reacting
Right.
and is really setting off the menopause when you don't have the right balance in your body.
Yeah.
But you got to be willing to sacrifice the time and make sure that you're taking care of you. And you have to decide that I'm not going to check out of life
Right.
and tell people I'm crazy, I'm going crazy. No, you're not.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, you're
Nope.
not. Do some crossword puzzles,
Yeah.
please. Like, stop letting autocorrect finish your
Yeah.
sentences. Like, you're not going crazy. You got to make sure that you're still living the full life. And again, for women, you have to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all think this is crazy when somebody say it's your mindset. It's not my mindset. I'm going through
Yeah.
menopause. You can't tell me it's a mindset. Listen, I took care of two very close people that I loved through their journey of cancer and transitioning. And
Mm-hmm.
they lasted way longer than the doctors thought they would last. I mean, because of mindset, because I was
Right.
there,
Right.
like, we're okay.
Yep.
We're doing it. And it was a mindset thing for them. So menopause is not nowhere near a walk in the park for somebody having a terminal
Right.
illness. So please
Right.
pull your head out your butt and decide for yourself that I'm worth taking care of
Right.
myself. I'm worth making a choice to go get the resources and to sit down and do the research. Stop scrolling and research menopause signs, symptoms, and resources and treatments
Yes.
for
That's
the
it.
next week. Get off
That's
of
it.
Instagram and Facebook unless
Yep.
it's something
The
pertaining to healing your
menopause.
body and your mind.
Right.
Right.
Right. That's it. That's it. And remember, is what I always say. So when people say, wow, you don't look your age. Wow, you've maintained your weight. You've had all these kids and you're still the same weight you were in college. Wow, you work out. You do this, you do that. What people are really saying is, I love myself. Like they can see how much I love
Mm,
myself. That's what they're saying. Like, wow, Anita really loves her. She really loves herself.
mm,
Yes, because drinking water and walking, all of those things are saying, I love myself.
mm.
So
Yes.
that's what I want you all to do more than anything. You've got to take care of yourself because you really love yourself.
Mm,
Okay? So please, please make this commitment for yourself. I always tell people, I'm not doing this for a man. I'm not doing this, I'm doing this because I love myself.
yes.
I care about myself. So yes, but your
That's
man will
good.
benefit. Like he will benefit. Okay. He
Yes.
will benefit
And
from you taking good care
everybody
of yourself.
will.
Yep.
Everybody will. Everybody benefits when everybody's being the best, highest version of themselves. And too
Mm-hmm.
many times
Mm-hmm.
we are pointing fingers at other people instead of looking internally at what's going on with us. And I'm reading this. I just finished reading this book, The Mastery of Love by Don Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
Such a good book about self-love. I don't know if you read it. It's a short read, and I just
Okay.
listened to it on Audible. And it was such a because you need to feed the internal. You need to feed your
Yeah.
mind while you're
Yep.
going through these. This book had me in here emotional
Yeah.
because I know that I love myself, and it just was pointing me in the right direction of stop giving so much energy to outside and
Yeah.
trying to change every relationship. You're
Yeah.
50% of that relationship, and the only part of that relationship that you're responsible for is the 50% you own. But
That's it.
it is your job to be the best, highest version of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when we're going through menopause, we're not being our best
Right.
selves. And no matter what excuse we make to be blasting off on people, or what excuse we make to shut our husbands out, or our children, or
Yep.
whoever, we're not being the best, highest version of ourselves, and we're not getting what we need because we deserve the best from other people, and people can't give us their best because we're simply not giving them our best. So they're walking away or they're distancing themselves. So
Yeah.
when you put up a wall, you not only stop letting love out, you stop letting love come
I'm
in.
in.
And
That's
then you
right.
start dying like a plant. You know, if there's no sunlight and no water, no nourishment, no nurturing,
Yeah.
the plant the leaves just start to fall off. And we just don't want that for you ladies. We don't want your relationships to end bad. We don't want you to be alone in your later years when you have a decent man. Because
Yeah.
like Anita said, you don't want to go back outside.
No, you do not.
We be outside.
Yeah. And it is not what you think it is. I keep telling these couples, man, these couples coming in my practice, I'm like, you sure you want to do this,
Make it
man?
work.
Like, it's really not that great. It's
Make
not
it
that
work.
fun. Yeah,
That's what I
it's
tell
not.
couples too. I'm like,
Yep.
listen, if you want to start all over with somebody else only to find out that you got to make that work. So why you want to go to somebody else? Because you're going to have to make it
To
work.
make
So
it
you're
work.
bringing
That
you to this
that's
new
it.
relationship.
Yep.
And if like ladies, just say for instance, you go out and you meet somebody new. You're going
Mm-hmm.
to give them your all.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be nice. You're going to talk nice to them. You're going to be
Mm-hmm.
involved with them emotionally, physically. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
hug. You're going to be kind. But you're not willing to do that with the partner that you're with right now. Just
Right.
start over again and just be nice like you
Yeah.
just met them. Because again, you got to go back outside. And I'm
Right.
telling you, it's slim pickings.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
slim pickings. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, like what
Yeah.
is going
Yeah.
on out here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's pee in the dating pool because nobody wants to be the pee in the dating pool.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs to be the best, highest version of themselves. And then we can all have great relationships.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. It starts with us. It starts with us owning and being accountable for the fact that we are going through menopause and it is affecting our relationships drastically. Marriages are ending.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the power to stop it by simply saying, I'm going to work on me. I
Yeah.
hear you, Anita. I hear you, Trey. I'm going to
Yep.
turn the mirror on myself and I'm going to go get me some HRT, uh,
That's it.
the
That's it.
BHRT. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
go get me some oils. I'm going
Yep.
to get me some supplements. But what I'm not going to do is check out anymore.
Right.
And it's not an attack on me.
Yeah.
Somebody's taking a look from the outside
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Get you some
Trade.
BHRT. Get you
Yep.
some. If you need
Yeah.
it,
Get you
get it.
something.
Get your
Something.
BHRT. If you don't want the chemicals and you're scared, you just got a
Right.
resource to
Yep.
just, even if you just go click on the link and check it out. It's not going to hurt
Right.
you. Click
Yep. Yep.
on the link.
Yeah. Trey, tell us about your platform. Tell everyone where they can find you. Tell everyone about your Wednesday night show.
Yes, you can find me on at Trey Kearney, of course, on Instagram. I'm at
Mm-hmm.
Trey Kearney 26 on TikTok. I'm over there. I like to play over there a lot.
Okay.
My website is www.treykearney.com. My YouTube channel, the New You
Okay.
Nation Network YouTube channel, is for Generation X. If you are tired of twerking and messiness and
Mm-hmm.
gyrating and cussing, the New You Nation Network YouTube channel is for you. It's just for an older crowd. We have edutainment.
Okay.
Education and entertainment is fun, but it's not filthy. And you can
Okay.
just find me all things at Trey Kearney. My name, TrayKearney.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
And
wait.
then your
I'm
show.
sorry. For the
Mhm.
women who are really struggling and you need
Mhm.
support, I have
Yep.
a community called the Circle of Love community.
Oh, okay.
And it's a private community for women who need a support group. And you can go to my website, www.treykearney.com, and click on
Okay.
the community tab. And it is amazing over there for women and
Okay.
men.
Awesome. And then you have a show on Wednesday night
Yes,
at
looking
8.
for love.
Okay. It's at 8 o'clock over on YouTube.
Yep,
Okay. I got lost. I was trying to find it this past Wednesday and I just got lost. So I was like, okay, I think it's here, but then I don't see it. And then I went to somewhere else. Okay. But it's on YouTube Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
yep.
Okay.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes.
Okay. So I got to try to find it next Wednesday. I wrote it down so I can try to find it. Okay. Oh,
I'm going to
great.
send it to you.
Yeah. Evolving Lulu 74 said, I just started following you just now, Trey. Good.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to follow you back. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So this has been fantastic, ladies, gentlemen. There were a lot of gentlemen on tonight. I hope you got some good educational material. I hope that you're brave enough to share it with the person that probably needs to hear it. And so it might be time for you all to have a good conversation. Like, hey, I'm noticing this, I'm noticing that, and you're complaining about, the aches and pains or the hot flashes. Like, what do you think about this? I heard this on this live. What do you think about looking into that? And see what happens. See what happens. But have a good conversation with your significant other. If you're a lady, you got a lot of good information that hopefully you can figure out how you can apply it. Remember, no knowledge is really worth anything unless we're applying it. Okay? It doesn't do us any good to just hear it. We got to apply it. So I hope this was helpful. We're doing our best in these streets to try to keep our relationships together, keep them strong. The thing that I said just the other day is I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in our community. I'm still trying to understand why we are at each other's throats. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
We have got to come together and we have got to stick together.
Yes.
Okay? If we're going to make it, we've got to stick together.
Yes.
Okay? So I'm hoping that this sparks some good conversations outside of this live. I will be reposting this live probably first thing in the morning, and then you will see this live on my YouTube channel. I'm going to send it to Trey if she wants to use it for her channel. But follow her on Instagram, follow her on YouTube, check out her show on Wednesday night, check out her website. She just gave you a lot of great resources, okay? Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Trey, for joining me. I really appreciate you. It's been great finally connecting because I've been wanting
Yes.
to connect since last year. Now we finally done it.
We
So
sisters now.
yes, yes. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all. I didn't think this would apply to me, but I stayed and I'm grateful that I did. Thank you both. All right, good. I don't know if you're not yet 40 or 50, but you will be. You will be, God willing.
Yes.
So just listen, okay? All right. Have a great rest of the night. Thank you all so much. And as always, stay open to love.
Yes.